July 4th is still 2 weeks away, but people in several Columbus neighborhoods are dealing with this. They say their normally quiet blocks sound more like battlefields because of noisy interruptions of fireworks late into the night.
As 10 TV's Glenn McIntyre reports this evening, they're asking for a little quiet and a little consideration.
Family ties pulled Jeremy Miller to buy his first home in the Georgian Heights neighborhood of the Hilltop.
My parents bought their first house in this neighborhood a couple streets over back in the 1980s, and actually this is the neighborhood I was born in.
But his love of his neighborhood is being tested by now nightly eruptions of fireworks.
I can practically feel the percussions of the explosions happening. My first instinct is like, oh my gosh, is somebody shooting at my house? It happens every night. And it's been happening. And there's a lot of times where you're like, okay, you're kind of playing a game with yourself. Is that fireworks or gunshots? What was it? So
that's unsettling.
Yeah, it is very unsettling.
J.R. McMillan lives in Westgate.
The concern that we've had within the last 3 weeks has been the overwhelming presence of fireworks. And we're not talking about backyard fireworks, and we're not talking about neighborhood squabbles. We're talking about commercial-grade fireworks, firing ordnance off into the air at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning for hours on end.
He says it's become a nightly nuisance, and for some, it's more than that.
We have veterans who have a very different experience when they hear fireworks going off for hours on end.
It's not just a problem on the west side. People here in Marion Village on the south side and Old Town East also report similar nightly disruptions.
We have called CPD. We have not seen any sort of measurable or apparent response.
Jeremy says he also called police.
And I'm just like, okay, what can we do to make this stop? She just said, it's not exactly a priority of ours. We have other things that we need to address. But she does say, she did tell me that police have been offering citations, and unfortunately, people still persist.
McMillan believes the city should do more because some of the fireworks are being fired from Westgate Park.
When it's happening on city property, private residents really aren't the ones who should be interceding.
Jeremy understands police currently have their hands full, so he asks this of his neighbors.
So I think the only thing that we can really do is really just ask people to be reasonable. Just be more considerate.
Glenn McIntyre, 10 TV News.
I got it. Yeah. The city attorney's office says unless you have a permit, igniting fireworks within the city is still illegal. Now, the Ohio House, you may have heard, recently passed a bill that would legalize the use of fireworks statewide. However, a spokesperson for the state Senate majority says right now there are no plans to bring it to the Senate floor. Now, this story came to us from viewers telling us what's happening on Nextdoor. If you're on that app and you want to tell us what's happening, well, on your street, next door, wherever, just look for our Nextdoor 10 TV page.